Delighted to see you all here today for our third annual Top 30 Index of US Ireland Companies, and an event that combines really two things, the annual index and the York-New Belfast conference, which has been going for a couple of days now, and so far the feedback has been absolutely fantastic. I just hope the feed is up to the back. And I have no doubt it will be. But we have a very packed program this lunchtime, and what I'm going to do very quickly is get the speakers up here because I know everybody's got a very busy schedule today. And the first of our speakers today is Sean Kelly of KPMG. So I just asked Sean to go to the podium.
Thank you. Hopefully you can all see me behind this big podium. Well, on behalf of the over 20,000 KPMG partners and staff in the US and Ireland, I want to welcome you to the lunch. I had a quick look at the agenda for the conference, and sort of, you look at some of the themes around regeneration and entrepreneurship, and it sort of reminds me, one of the last times I'm originally from Belfast. And I remember being a client up from Dublin. We were going to a meeting in Belfast. We were driving up. The client decided to bring his German Shepherd in the car with him. And as all of you know, the client is always right. So we had to bring his German Shepherd. So we're going to Belfast. We're looking for a parking spot. And we go around into Belfast, the Malachy's Church there near the City Hall. We find a spot. He's parking car. It's his car, so it's a pretty nice car. And this young fella comes up and he said, "Hey, mister, for £1, I'll look after your car." Great entrepreneurial spirit. So my client, sort of points to this huge German Shepherd in the back of the car, and the client, the young fella says, "Very good, mister, but can he put out fires?"
Belfast is a compelling proposition. It's by way of introduction, before I individually introduce our members of the panel here. Let's just look a little bit at Belfast. In New York, here I love this city, second only to my own city, Belfast. I'm fortunate to have been born in North Belfast, raised in East Belfast, live in South Belfast, and through marching have come to know and value West Belfast. So I truly know our city and love it. But this city of New York, your warmth and your generosity have sustained us over the years, and we're grateful for that. Indeed, you're a bit like an indulgent parent to a beloved child in Belfast. But it's time, that Belfast grew up. And whilst remaining grateful to an indulgent parent, we must begin to stand on our own 2 feet. But have we the strength of character to do that, to stand on our own 2 feet? Well, strength of character often comes from bloodline, from lineage. And for a moment, let's look at ours. You'll have heard some of it last night. Our culture, literature, music and theatre has always been world class. But our shipbuilding, linen making, rope making and engineering led the world. This from a place that now, even now, only has 1.7 million people in it. Northern Ireland led the world in shipbuilding, linen making, rope making, and indeed engineering. Not to mention whiskey drinking and fighting, which we're still quite famous for. And on the theme of fighting, we've always punched well above our weight. But that's history. What of us now? Well, as you've heard again, we've got the youngest working population in Europe, the most graduates per head of population, a highly skilled workforce, and through Project Kelvin, the greatest connectivity. We have leading industries in biosciences, software development, multimedia, entertainment, and communications. Indeed, some of you may have heard Andrew Reid from Northern Ireland Screen talk about what's happening down in the paint shed in the Titanic Quarter. But one thing that wasn't mentioned, in terms of arts and culture, there are 35,000 people working in arts and culture in Northern Ireland. That's 5% of our workforce. and indeed it's now bigger than agriculture, and it's growing. But you know, we're like the child that leaves home for the first time to go to university or college. We continue to need the support and affection of that indulgent parent in New York. But it's no longer subsistence that we need, it's investment. And we know that your investment must get a return. But we're ready to take on more responsibility for our own future, to shape our own destiny. And your investment will significantly speed that process, and ultimately, you and me will reap a mighty reward.
Thank you very much. The parent company is Constellium Technologies. They've been in Belfast for about 15 years, and they build back-end systems for the government. And they took part of their product, spun it off, and launched in November of this year in the United States. We're based out of Boston. One of the nice things is we will keep our call centers and all the development over in Belfast. And I know that they have already hired at least 10 to 12 developers, and then by the end of the year our call center will start up with at least a dozen people. So I'll accept this on behalf of Colin Reed, who's the CEO of Constellium. Thank you.
Well, I accept the award and pleased to on behalf of all of us at BNY Mellon. But specifically, our chairman, Bob Kelly, who would have been here today to do so, but he's in Vienna, would have been another Kelly speaker for the dais. But we're very proud. I would like to say that I've had the good fortune to be involved in our operations in Ireland now for 15 years. In those 15 years, both in partnership with Allied Irish Bank and now with BNY and Mellon, we are among the largest employers with, I believe, well over 1,000 people focused on the funds industry and security services in many offices, including a particularly large one now in Cork, which is where my great-grandfather is from. So again, thank you very much. Nice to see everyone.
I'll take my New York minute to make comments, which is a little bit less than 60 seconds. But I can tell you the New York Stock Exchange, one doesn't necessarily associate words like entrepreneurship and innovation with a company that's a few centuries old like we are. But we have technology centers scattered throughout the United States and Europe in obvious locations where our customers are, like New York and London, and less obvious locations where we're looking for that entrepreneurship, that innovation, those good minds, that high energy. In places like Silicon Valley, we have a facility. We have a facility not far from one of the space centers in Florida, near Cape Canaveral. And our most recent addition is Belfast, because it fits into that category of high energy, passionate minds, tireless workers, entrepreneurship, trying to get stuff done as quickly as we can, very innovative ways of doing things, and of course under economically favorable conditions. We have the high quality problem of the fact that we've been there a couple of years now, and we've already had to change facilities twice because of our growth and to house our new employees, and we expect that to continue in the future. And so let me just say thank you on behalf of Dominique, who, by the way, thought this meeting was in Belfast, so that's where he's having lunch today. But thank you very much, and we look forward to great things in the future from Belfast, as we've already seen in the recent past.
I want to thank you very much for this award. For those who aren't familiar with CyberSource, we're a leading provider of payment and risk management systems to the e-commerce industry. We enable companies to do business globally through the e-commerce global payment channels. And Bill decided to open an office in Belfast in 2008 with a focus on creating a center of excellence for our global payment expansion into the global payment markets throughout Europe and Asia Pacific specifically. And to date, we're up to about 35 employees, and by the end of this year, we're actually going to double that. The talent pool has far exceeded our expectations, and the level of work that we've received has allowed us to really grow our business quite a bit faster than we initially anticipated throughout Europe and Asia Pacific. So again, on behalf of Bill, I want to thank you very much and look forward to a long-lasting relationship in Northern Ireland. Thank you.